Hello everyone. Native English Video Dictionary.
Hi, I'm Mike and I'm a native English speaker from the US, and this video is made exclusively for Native English Video Dictionary. Today we're going to talk about a really common phrase, and I'm sure you've heard of it if you've watched any English TV or even in the movies or also in music, popular music. And the phrase we're going to learn today is down the line, which is actually an idiom, and it can be used in many, many different ways, but the most common way is to talk about something that is going to happen in the future, but we don't know when it's going to happen. So before we go on, I'd just like to mention that using idioms like this can be really difficult to use naturally. We can use them, but we want to make them sound natural. And the nice part about the phrase down the line is that it's great because it tends to be a little bit simpler than other idioms. The context isn't super specific. So if sounding like a native speaker is really important to you, especially if you're studying for like international exams, or you just want to feel very confident in yourself if you're around a bunch of native English speakers, this is 100% a great idiom for you to learn. So there's some examples of the way that we can use down the line in real life. For example, you could say, we just bought a car, but we don't love the color. We're going to have it painted at some point down the line. So in this example, the speaker bought a car and they want to change the color at some point in the future, but they don't know when. Another example might be a teacher talking to a very young student, and they might say, if you don't learn basic math now, you're going to have problems down the line. So in this example, the teacher is trying to say that if the student doesn't learn simple math when they're young, they'll have problems in the future, maybe in higher level math like geometry and trigonometry, or even problems in getting into a good university or finding a job. So really, the best way to think about this phrase is as a way to describe like a long-term vision. So a businessman might want to open a new company with one product and have the goal to make more products in the future at some point down the line. There are some synonyms to down the line. You could say ultimately. So in our business example from before, you could say, I'm going to start my business by selling one product, but ultimately I'd like to sell many products. You could also say eventually. So think about our car example from before. You could say, we just bought a new car and hate the color, so eventually we're going to repaint it. You could also say at the end of the day. So this is another idiomatic expression. We're changing one idiomatic expression and we're using a synonym that's another idiomatic expression. And we can use this one in our math example. You could say, at the end of the day, we're going to have problems if you don't learn simple math when you're young. So it's not actually talking about the end of a day, like the evening or the nighttime, but it just means in the future. In the future, you're going to have problems if you don't learn basic math. So of course this is a phrase and we can't really turn it into a noun or a verb or any other form like that. So you just need to remember that it's typically used to describe future events. Nice and simple. In terms of antonyms, the opposite of doing something down the line would be doing something right away, or immediately, or right now. For example, you could say, I bought a new car and I'm going to paint it right away. I'm going to paint it now, not down the line. Or I'm starting a business and I'm going to introduce several new products immediately. I'm not going to start with just one, I'm going to start with many. So while down the line means in the future, right away, immediately, right now, they all mean now. So that's it. I hope you learned a little bit more about this great idiomatic phrase, and I look forward to seeing you all in future videos. Have a great day.